Good morning, and thank you for the opportunity to be here. My name is Melina Harmon. I'm the owner and operator of UB1st Embroidery, home of the Patch Lady, located at the corner of Route 13 and Route 9, 10912 County Seat Highway in Laurel, Delaware. I'm 26 years old. I graduated from Salisbury University with a bachelor's in business management. My mother actually came up with the name UB1st Embroidery, UB1st. Okay, so UB1st Embroidery started as a family business, and a few months after the business was started, we found out that my father had cancer. So I decided to take over the business. I'm not pretty sure why, but something in me didn't want to give it up. I figured after I graduated, I would have a new career. Having a business was not easy. I was making decent money, but I was clueless, and there were always challenges within having a business. And then graduation came, and I had to ask myself, do I want to get a job, or do I want to get better at this business? So I had to ask myself, what is it that I do? And that statement went from thrown together words that rambled on to the current statement, I help people brand themselves to increase sales and or raise awareness. I will make you a walking billboard so you can advertise whenever and wherever you go.
I'm going to put your website up because that's moving a lot and it's a little bit of a distraction, and I would like for you to get all the attention. Great, thank you.
Currently, UB1st Embroidery specializes in small businesses, personal gifts, and patchwork, hence Patch Lady. Zipper replacements, minor sewing repairs, and patch sewing are also services that I offer. Large orders are accepted. Customers come to UB1st Embroidery because they know that the work will be done right. If they have not heard from word of mouth, they have seen it for themselves. Many people call my work clean, as you can see, because I care about what I produce. If it doesn't set well with me, I believe it won't set well with the customer. Locals come to me when everyone else says that it cannot be done, and I usually say, give me a few days. I see embroidery work in a different perspective because I was self-taught. Other business owners went to school for embroidery, so I can pretty much make anything happen. My work makes a difference within the community because I learned the mechanics of embroidery. I learned to work on my own machine, and I learned how the machines worked versus paying someone $100 an hour to come and work on my machine. Also, I learned how the threads, needles, and bobbins work to create tight and clean embroidery. There aren't too many well-known embroidery businesses within the area, and that gives UB1st Embroidery an advantage. And one former embroidery owner came to me and said, oh, I heard you do great work. And I just looked at him like, he was like, yeah, I know you didn't hear about me. I was like, I couldn't tell him his work really didn't look that well. So I just did a nervous smile. Okay. But eventually, I would like for UB1st to grow to a second location with a small yet efficient staff of a manager, a designer, a few machine operators, and a salesperson to produce embroidery and screen printing nationwide and eventually globally. The second location will focus on larger orders, and its main niches being Greek apparel and motorcycle patches, while the first location would still be for smaller orders like my current location. I plan to implement this growth through continual learning such as trade shows, courses, research, and experimenting, reading and continual learning from other entrepreneurs and business people have helped in such little ways, in such little time, and I recommend that to anyone. Internet sales, which this website isn't really set up for sales, but my Patch Lady website, I plan to launch that within the next week. And through other websites such as Pinterest, eBay, and sites alike, traveling and networking helps to connect with potential investors, customers, and partners. Volunteering also helps to reach my goals. I like the feeling of doing something for others in the community. Sponsoring, it helps me to put my work out there, and it provides advertisement for my business. And if I keep implementing these actions, hopefully it'll help me reach my goals. And being a business owner is not easy, but it's an honor. The time management and organizing were major problems in my business, but I've created systems to help myself and future employees. The experience of being a business owner is an amazing journey. I love meeting people. I've embraced the daily challenges, and I love problem solving. Growing this business is a goal that I have to accomplish for my family and most importantly for myself. I hope to master it and become a serial entrepreneur. Grow with me.
you. Okay, now the floor is open for questions and feedback, and who would like to go first?
Thank you very much. Very nice presentation. As we understand, the problem associated with embroidery is we can never find the design team to get the design work done so that we can take the design to an embroiderer. So the bottom line question is, do you do the design work also?
No, I don't. I would like to get a designer in-house because it's so expensive to have somebody, outsource the designing. But I usually try to get people to bring me their design ready for production.
Do you have a challenge then once the design comes to you of whether or not you can actually produce it as drawn or as developed?
If it's not too busy, some logos are just, although you can see some of my designs are really busy, some have way too much detail. But if I can't, I try to tell them up front that I can't, but if I can, I try to make sure that I make it happen.
And last but not least then, do you have designers that you can actually send your potential customers to get the design work done so that they can get an embroidery done?
Yes.
I also have a lead for you with a graphic artist who is also an illustrator.
Okay.
That I'd be happy to share with you.
Thank you. Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Couple of questions. Your location, Unit 5, 10912 County Seat Highway. Are you there every day?
Wednesday through Sunday.
Wednesday through Sunday?
Yes, my business hours are right here. Wednesday through Saturday, 10 to 5, Sunday, 11 to 5.
Number 2 is, do you have a business plan?
Not really.
Okay, something we want to talk about.
Yes.
And number 3, what is your turnaround time when you do get a product to?
Usually, if it's under 50 items, it's about 14 business days. If it's more than 50 items, it's about 21 business days. But if it's a single item, I do try to get it out within a week. Yes.
And lastly, could you talk about your fees?
My fees, my minimum price is $15, and it goes up from there. Usually the fronts are between $15 to about $25. The backs usually start at $30.
Does it take a long time to do an average design?
It really depends. This pink vest is usually about 2.5 hours. Something like this, usually about 45 minutes. The last two, I'd say about an hour. This 45 minutes. The hats, I'd say about 20 minutes.
Just wondering, do you work with vendors to also provide the unembroidered products for your customers, or do they need to acquire the unembroidered product to bring to you?
I actually work with vendors, usually Atlantic Coast Cotton, Bodekin and Rhodes, or you can bring in your own apparel.
Great. And then secondly, what would you say with your current setup? I know you said you were looking to expand to a second location for larger orders. With your current location, what is the maximum number of units you're able to do?
As many as they want, depending on what the price that I would have to charge, either if I outsource it to someone or if I do it in-house. as long as I have the time to do it and produce it and they're happy with it, I try to do it in-house. So, but I'd say if it's probably like 500, I will like try to outsource that.
How many other embroidery companies do you work with in terms of outsourcing?
Usually about 2. I try to keep it to a minimum.
In your retail spot, do you have many customers that just walk in the door, or do they usually find you via phone first?
Usually Facebook. I have a sign on the highway. A lot of people have been coming in lately because of my sign. And previous customers, word of mouth, I have a referral program, so I try to get people to referral friends.
I just have a quick question regarding your expansion. If you want to go to a second location, what's your ultimate outcome for having a second location? Is it presence? Is it because you've outgrown where you are and you just need more space?
Well, actually, I'm really trying to get an online presence, and once that gets going, I really don't want it to be like a retail location. I'd rather it just be a shop. They go in and just do the online orders mostly.
Do you have online now?
No, I'm launching. This is the website that I have is kind of like a business card website, but this one will be launching in a couple of days since I have products on here, and I'm hoping that'll kind of jumpstart me.
One last quick question, and I'll pass the mic to Karen. What means do you use for social media to advertise?
Usually just Facebook. A lot of my clientele and customers that I reach are on Facebook. I really didn't have any good feedback with Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest, even other embroiderers. I see they're not really getting that many followers, and they're not doing that great on there either, so that's really a goal that I want to try to accomplish, social media.
Wonderful presentation, very polished.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Just to kind of follow up on this idea of what you have in place for advertising and promoting your business, obviously social media seems to be a major focus. Have you looked into other areas of marketing that would serve as a marketer for your business, such as local chambers of commerce? You say you're in
Laurel
Laurel. The Laurel and Seaford chambers are very, very active, and I represent the Georgetown Chamber of Commerce, so I can speak on its behalf in the sense that for a very low annual fee, you have all of those marketing and promotional benefits already built in. So like the Georgetown Chamber has a dedicated member site for your business, so that would be a kind of a launching pad to your website. And the Laurel and Seaford Chambers have the same. So if you haven't looked into that, that might be it would be a strong suggestion for me, particularly for a new business. They really are set up to help you launch and get a wider presence.
Thank you.
So, yeah.
I will definitely do that. Thank you.
Hi, back here. I just wanted to follow up on a couple questions and comments. One to the design question and the fact that you are trying to become more web-centric, it sounds like. Are you looking into some like online tools and software for your site that actually lets the user place and kind of do the setup work that way? I mean, to me that might...
Sorry.
Go ahead, sorry.
Go ahead.
No, I'm finished. I just know what you were looking at that way, because I know that from a user standpoint, you know, it's a big selling point, I know.
Right, and I've looked because I need to try to find either a student or someone who's willing to swap services with me, because I really need that. Because me trying to go out and get it and spend $3,000, I'm like, okay, well, so if you have any leads for me with that, that is something that I really would like to get into.
I'm sorry. I'm Scott Thomas. I'm with Southern Delaware Tourism, and just interested in, you know, this is a good presentation, and
Thank you.
it's glad to know where you are.
Brenda?
I'm back to basics, Belinda. And congratulations again, but when I think of business, small business and startups, one of the primary thoughts that come to my mind is sustainability and retention. That is that once you get started, you can stay there. And after 3 years, we can begin to see some profitability. I think of profitability and I think of job creation. Have you, to date, made any, kind of piggybacking on Karen, have you built any collaborations or partnerships with the resources around you to help your business to grow? Because we have tons of things here in the county. We have the Sussex County Open for Business, where you have the opportunity to be in a platform with other businesses, entrepreneurs, startups, and also the resources that can help you get to where you're trying to go. And I want to suggest that to you, if you haven't been there already, to begin to build those partnerships, resources that you need to get where you're trying to go in your short and long-term goals.
Right. Well, I fall short of that. I do need to get out there and connect and start building those connections and using my resources.
Absolutely. That will help you save, your capital, your working capital on marketing. You can save that for other things and begin to build those collaborations and partnerships with the people that can help you to grow.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I just have one last comment, or a recommendation. I know when people are growing, often capital can be limited at times. But one suggestion that I would have is when you utilize Facebook, not everyone is aware, but you can place ads in Facebook, and you can designate the money. So you could say $25, $82, it doesn't matter. And what they will do is you can set it so from where your business location is, you can do a 25-mile radius or a 50-mile radius, and it will show up in everyone's feed, and you would be amazed the amount of people it reaches, and you get stats on all of that. So it's that's a really good avenue to advertise, and at a very minimal cost with reaching a lot of people.
Yeah, that's the one thing that has been working for me is Facebook, versus the guide, the newspaper, between my sign on the highway and Facebook.
Melina, I shared with you that my husband was a ham radio operator, and I asked her if she would go to locations and do her embroidery service, and she said that she aspires to that maybe sometime in the future. But it did occur to me today that I'd be happy to get you before. They have several clubs in the area, and I'd be happy to help you make that connection, and maybe getting to one of the club meetings and sharing what you do. You might get enough orders to really make it worth your time.
Good, I appreciate it.
Are there other questions? Well, thank you. Oh, one more question. What can we as the community do to help support you?
Whatever resources you guys have, I'm always open to advice. If we can sit down and talk about the business plan, I just feel so burnt out some days being the only person here running a business. It's a lot, and if you guys could just give me whatever advice and help me, I'd appreciate it.
Mr. Moody was pointing out we have a course that we offer here, actually initiated through the Kaufman Foundation that initiated 1 Million Cups, and it will start again in the fall. It's a 10-week course. We happen to have one of our participants in the one that just finished this week, but they can also help you. It's called Kaufman Fast Track New Venture, and I'd be happy to share more with you about that.
Okay.
Oh.
Have you affiliated in any way with organizations like SCORE?
SCORE? No.
This could be important to you because I have at least one personal friend that has opened a small garage, well, not small actually, here in Georgetown, and put him together with SCORE, and if it wasn't for it, he would never have made it work.
Okay. There's a SCORE locally?
Yeah, it's senior executives, but anyhow, certainly you can be given the information if you care to be with them, and they can be very helpful. Thanks.
SCORE is an organization that originated here in Delaware out of Wilmington, and it is retired executives and business owners that volunteer their time to help mentor small business owners. There's more than 13,000 counselors across the nation, so chances are they can hook you up with somebody that has had some insights to perhaps businesses like yours, and we'd be happy to give you that local contact.